ooey. We'll have to fix that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Everyday Psychic Radio. This show features healing and guidance and readings for everyday people just like you to find your way to your highest self and living your best life. Featuring Psychic Jenny McDaniel and your host, Drew Pillow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Everyday Psychic Radio with your host, Drew Pillow, and our special guest, Jennifer Evans. But last but the most is the co-host, Jenny McDaniels. And this show offers free psychic readings and a chance for you to talk about things that matter to you, get some guidance, you get some additional healing along with that, and you get to listen to us talk about amazing topics and, you know, in between calls. And if you'd like to call in and you're listening on your whatever social media platform, you can call us at 323-642-1188. And if you spell that out on the keypad, it spells Drew's Awesome. So, without more from me, let's introduce our ladies. Jenny McDaniel, I can't even begin to describe her, so I'm going to let her describe herself.
Thanks,
hey,
Drew.
Jenny.
It's excellent to be here, of course, with you and Jennifer. I always have a good time. I do all kinds of healing. I do emotional healing, psychological healing, physical healing, quantum karmic healing. My favorite is to help you remember or view for you your parallel or past lives, which often help us deal with certain emotional or psychological or spiritual issues we're dealing with in this time frame continuum, because ultimately time doesn't exist and everything's happening right now. So I do all kinds of stuff. My favorite stuff is the past life stuff, but I'm also a pretty decent channel, and I happen to often channel famous dead people. So don't be surprised if Janis Joplin or Carl Jung pops in, or Einstein or Tesla. It happens sometimes.
Hell yeah. And we also have our, we're not even going to call her a special guest anymore because she's a mainstay. She's one of the three pillars that hold up the Everyday Psychic Radio planet, and her name is Jennifer Evans. And Jennifer, can you introduce yourself? If you can. She's doing it telepathically right now. Let's see if I can. Oh.
Okay, that was me. Sorry, I muted myself, so a little bit technically challenged. I'm the Canadian co-host, and I have been a medium for the last 20 some odd years. I've been reading tarot cards for the last 35 years. And I've done healing, hypnosis, and I can also do, remote viewing. So if you need someone remotely viewed, I'm your person.
Ooh,
yeah.
Excellent.
I want to know what my girlfriend's been up to.
Probably the number one job for a remote viewer is, what in the heck is my partner doing?
Yeah, I need to know this right now. Okay, and so today on our show, we're going to give the phone line a few minutes to kind of stack up with callers. You guys like my new extra calm voice?
Ooh, I have noticed. Yeah, I have noticed that you were speaking slower and with more balanced tones there, Drew.
Balanced tones. That's what I was going to call it if I had those words at my disposal. So I don't know why. I just felt like doing that today. I'm sure as I get more excited, I'll become my own self again. But for now, I don't know if you ladies had a specific topic that you wanted to discuss while we have some time.
I could talk about my coronavirus experience.
Oh my God! Let me mute my headset so I cannot hear this. No.
Well, I'm I'm negative for the Canadian coronavirus. However, yesterday, so I had my 50th birthday on Friday, and it was terrible, but that's okay because what else are you going to do? But yes, and I'm not an anxious person, but yesterday I felt so anxious about this whole thing. I think it's because the people around me are getting paranoid and stressed. So there was this global meditation last night. So I went and I did the global meditation. That felt nice. Then I turned off my Wi-Fi last night while I slept, and I woke up with a new sense of optimism. So I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi. I don't know if it was the meditation, but it's all good now.
Interesting. You know, I've been pretty mellow during this process. And for me, it started over a month ago. I remember going to visit Santa Fe from Albuquerque, and it was about the 3rd of March. And I remember not touching surfaces and definitely trying not to touch my face. So I've been aware of it for at least a month. So I've been taking precautions since then. I've been pretty chill, pretty calm. Because of that, we've been able to prepare, I feel like, and get just the things we needed and the things that were required for us. So I felt like very calm and grounded. But the other day, it might have been 3 days ago, I woke up and I had this soul-crushing pressure on me that I was like, what in the heck? And so I snapped out of it, but it took me a lot of meditation and seeking out a lot of different areas of what it could have been. But anyway, it was very heavy, and there was a lot of anxiety in there, and gladly I was able to alleviate that. But there are going to be times when even if you're calm and collected and your life hasn't shifted that much, you're going to feel the pressure of the planet, of the shift of everything. And I did, and it lasted for a good half of the day, which is quite long for me. I can usually shake energies pretty quick. That one was heavy, and I knew it was planetary. So just sending all kinds of good energy. I didn't get a chance to do the meditation last night, Jennifer, so I'm cool. I'm glad that you got a chance to do it and tell me that it felt nice and it was connective. And I had a couple of other people mention on Facebook that they had some pretty even vision experiences, like clairvoyant experiences while doing it. So glad everyone enjoyed that.
Awesome.
Yeah. I didn't even know about it, but I don't hardly know about anything. So when you do that, you're doing it for me too. I'm glad you tested negative. You know, I've been negative my whole life, so I feel good. I feel like I can pass this test. I've been studying my whole life for this. Drew, you're negative. Well, thank you. Tell me something I don't know. Heart Over Ego Radio. Why do we say that? This show is called Everyday Psychic Radio. We say Heart Over Ego because that is the network. It's kind of like when you watch ABD channel. I changed the names, the letters. But you know what I mean. You turn to this channel, it's the network, and you see particular shows on that network. Our network's Heart Over Ego, and this show, Sundays at 3 noon Pacific, is called Everyday Psychic Radio. Well, we encourage you to listen to our other shows on this channel, and some of them are pretty interesting. All of them are, actually. And we have shows almost every day of the week. So check out our Blog Talk Radio page, blogtalkradio.com/Heart Over Ego Radio. And you'll get an opportunity to check out all our different shows. So, and you'll also be appreciated. And so, what was Heart Over Ego? Where did that name even come from? I've always been curious about that.
Well, I got it from my teacher. My teacher is a trance channel, and he often talks about the heart versus the ego, how much heart energy is on the planet and how much ego energy is on the planet, and how light workers are forever trying to alchemize that and change the ego into heart. Because if you look at our planet as a whole, there's still a lot of famine and death and grief and abuse and wrongdoing, so to speak, going on the planet. So as a whole, we have more ego on this planet than heart energy. Do we have a lot of heart? Yeah, we do. But you can see the majority of it is very egoful, hence the wars that we're constantly in. I'm talking the United States, the battles that we're constantly fighting. So we're always in a balancing act of trying to bring the heart energy over the ego, so alchemizing ego into heart energy. So we named our network after the action that we're ultimately trying to do, which is to constantly be a shining light, or as best we can, we are human, to be a shining light and to project and to filter and to push out and radiate heart energy, which then, of course, is contagious and has a ripple effect. So Heart Over Ego Radio is named after an action or a mantra that we find to be of the utmost. We could have used good versus evil, but that's so cliche and old-fashioned, so we went with Heart Over Ego. Same thing, really.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's
or
not
the
just
1700s. If it were the 1700s, we would have went with good versus Evo network.
So Heart Over Ego, it's not just what we do, it's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you check out our channel, our station, our network, and I don't know, get your benefits. So what's another thing that you got? I'm kind of distracted because I'm cleaning up our feed so that our show can be available across all the podcast platforms.
I know something I can tell everyone listening. Not only is this Heart Over Ego Radio, but we have a sister station called Third Eye Political Radio, and it's not your average political radio shows. We go from conspiracy to conspiracy. No, we're not just conspiracy. We do glance at things from a more level-headed angle, but we bring in some spirituality. So we're viewing politics and the energies of politics through the psychic and intuitive eye. So check that out. Again, it's not going to be very boring Democratic Republican talk. It's going to be us talking about the powers that be and how they're a big part of this construct that we want to alchemize. A lot of the powers that be, the 1%, if you will, have a lot of greed and ego and scarcity energy. And so we often talk about these powers that be, sometimes in a comical way, but oftentimes just in an informative way, like, let's follow the money trail. So we're always doing research and exploring. We also have an exceptional show called Political Star Talk. I have a amazing 70-year-old old hippie psychic astrologer from California. She and I and Sonia Spirit get on there, and she describes what's going on politically, astrologically, Age of Aquarius type stuff. It's very, very cool. So check that out. It's going to give you some information. Again, most of these shows are very positive and comical. So check us out at Third Eye Political Radio, and of course we are Heart Over Ego Radio too. Both networks designed to bring you information for free. With that being said, if someone wants to get to the top of the list today and get read first, you can go to our website, which is Everyday Psychic Radio. Is it true?
Yeah.
EverydayPsychicRadio.com.
.com.
And you can get our VIP special, which is you get to the top of the line and you get both of us reading you for twice as long. So $10 gets you to the top of the line and an extra long reading with both of the psychics reading you. So again, that's available to you. You can utilize that if you want. All proceeds go to keeping us on the air. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and if you're interested in remote viewing, I'm not sure that Jennifer can or will, spy on your potentially unfaithful lover. So don't ask that question because I already asked it for you. I asked that one for you.
Jennifer, do you want to give us a small rundown of what remote viewing is? I know I just learned about it as a professional psychic only like 7 years ago. So do you want to tell people what that is so they get an idea?
Thing. If you want to see a movie that has to do with remote viewing, The Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney in it, it was a great, funny movie. But it's all about these haphazard people who learn how to do the remote viewing so that they can fight a war. It's the ability to tap into the energy, because the energy is all around us, and put yourself in a position where you can see a different location. So I don't even know if it's biolocation or it's just setting your intention to be in that specific space. But, there have been instances where my sister said, okay, I lost my wallet, and all of a sudden I'm in a dark place. I'm like, okay, I'm in a dark place, but I'm the wallet, and I was next to a carton of eggs, And she's like, okay, I know where that is. It was in her trunk. So,
no kidding.
You know, yeah. So
that's awesome.
It's handy. It's useful.
Yeah.
But to Drew's point, you know, if you ask me to psychically spy on someone with remote viewing, I'm not going to do it, because when you're given a gift, you also have to have the integrity to use that gift according to spiritual law. So, you know, finding a wallet, that's okay, but seeing if your ex is screwing his mother, I don't know. So
I don't want to know.
Okay. I don't want to know either.
That's why she doesn't do it. She doesn't want to know all that shit.
I don't want to know. Also, like the same thing with tapping into people, you know. People say, oh, well, you're reading me right now. No, I'm not, because why would I want to, A? B, that's not my right. I need permission in order to connect with you. So, and even when people give permission, sometimes their inner self, their higher self, isn't giving permission. Have you ever read someone where they've said yes, but there's been a block or a big, huge wall there?
Yeah, I've done that before. It doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened, and I had to basically do some emotional moving around and loosening up so I could get some information through. Yeah, it's happened a few times.
Yeah, there's one woman, I went up, there was a wall right there, so I tapped in through her son, because, you know, a mother and son, they've got the same information for the most part, so I was able to bounce off her to the son and able to get the information she was looking for, but I couldn't get it through her.
Cool. Good thing you had an alternative route there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's done on this end. So
cool.
You can open up your phone and go to whatever app store you have, and you can pick a podcast app, any one that you like, preferably the major ones, and you can type in Heart Over Ego Radio, and you can listen to all of our shows at your convenience. You know, stream it to your TV and listen like that. So we're making it easy for you to get this good information, because sometimes, I call it good information, because sometimes someone will get a reading, and it's not me, it's like Mary from Maryland, and the things that are told to her really click with me. It's like, whoa, she could have been talking to me when she said that. So it's good, helpful information. Sometimes things resonate with you. Sometimes it's healing. And, you know, whatever it is, it can be of benefit to you, even if you're not the particular person on the line. So download our app on your on podcast platforms everywhere.
Excellent.
I sound like a walking commercial. So we do have, oh, God, I forgot to open up the chat room. Sorry, chatters. Yeah, we all. So the chat room's open. You can join that on Blog Talk Radio and chat with me. I'll be happy to say hello to you. And so now we have some callers, if you guys are ready to take some callers.
Yeah.
Sure am.
Or you can take what's behind curtain number 3.
Is it a zonk?
It might be. But I did take the liberty of Googling top questions to ask a psychic. And some of the questions might surprise you. Even though you guys are so experienced, it probably won't. But we can get into that in between callers down the road. So we can go ahead and take a caller first. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
So we're going to take the caller from the area code 305. Caller, this is how it goes. You get 5 minutes, so jump on in there and tell us your name, where you're calling from, and what is your question or comment. And like Jenny mentioned earlier, our phone lines get busy and everyone doesn't get through. But if you want to take a moment and go to EverydayPsychicRadio.com, you can click the VIP button. And for $10, you jump to the top of the line, no waiting for you. No, you can keep your social distancing that way. And you can get double the reading. So that's how we do it. Caller 305. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Eileen, and I'm calling from South Florida. Yeah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Or afternoon.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Eileen.
Hi.
What's your question for us?
The question is, I applied on Amazon to open up a storefront. Do you think it's going to work for me? I have one on eBay, and it doesn't do anything.
Do you want me to start us off, Jennifer? Or?
Sure thing.
Normally I'd be like, this is on fire, because I'm looking at your career, I'm looking at your work, I'm looking at the capabilities, I'm seeing go, go, go. The only thing they're having me discuss with you is the fact that there is a interesting thing happening. It's the coronavirus. And so Amazon is often having to put non-essential sales to the back of the list. Now, a lot of people are ordering their essential groceries and things through them, so that's always going to get to the top of the list. So I'm imagining art isn't essential. I think it is, but I'm going to go ahead and say that they're going to say it's not, just like a lot of the other items that they categorize as unessential that I think are essential. So they're saying in the future, after this kind of bizarre space we're in settles down, looks like 1 to 3 months. Again, can't see exactly how it'll all play out, but they're saying, in the next couple months, I think that, yes, that will start to flow. It looks like people are going to be attracted to your work. The colors are going to get them. So they're saying, as long as you kind of just, kind of chill and kind of wait it out a little bit, that will be up and running in no time.
Cool.
They're saying
I can create
by fall, it looks like good. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Use the time to create. Use the time to create.
I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling September, and now it's the time to
Beautiful.
Build my portfolio.
There you go. Using that time wisely. We appreciate you for calling from the Florida area, and we're sending good blessings to the whole state.
Aww.
Cool. Yes. Thank you.
Sending good blessings.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll tell you what, as a shopper who is an online junkie, to put it nicely, I buy a lot of games. I shop at Walmart, though, a lot, because I know they're going to get me my products fast. But I buy a lot of games. I brought my Wii out of the closet because, I'm trying to do in-house family activities. So I'm going on my Wii. Apparently, I'm not the only one who thought of this. But high cobalt blue. But some of these Wii games, the prices are gouged so high. Like one Ding Dong Wii game was $99. So
how much normal? How much would that normally have been, like 6 months ago?
Probably like 10 or 15, $20 tops.
Nuh-uh. Okay, yeah. That's how it goes. Supply and demand, I think they call it in the business world.
And Facebook has a marketplace. I'm shopping on there quite a bit. And even they have little cheaper prices, but it's still...
They're still putting them up there. Mm-hmm. And then be careful about that. Be careful about shopping and going to people's homes and purchasing things out of their home. You don't know what they've been exposed to. I hate to be paranoid, but caution is helpful in this time. So be careful about that shopping online. Or, on the marketplaces when you go to people's homes. Now, if you have a good system and you can do like a touchless exchange, I think that's best, especially over there in the East. I see that the cases actually have, I think, neutralized in New York. So I do think that the numbers are at least staying the same or coming down. So we got that going for us too. So it looks like looking a little better as far as what we were just a week ago. So I guess we'll hope that we're hearing the good information from the news and it's truthful. But just for precautionary reasons, again, not a fear-based reality, just caution, being careful when you go to people's homes. That's right. And Cobalt Blues in the chat room, along with K Boda 19. And Cobalt says, I'm listening to your show. Thanks for the conversation. I have jigsaw puzzles, and I'm selling a lot of these. And hers are $247. No, $26. But jigsaw puzzles, things that people can do family-oriented in the house. I think those things are really hot right now. For sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and get another caller. This isn't what to sell on eBay advice. But I'm just telling you my experience. So, you guys ready for another caller?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. 954. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Mary. I'm also calling from South Florida. And it's an interesting show. Thank you. I was dreaming back at the end of February of a large newspaper, and on the big headlines was the date March 13th. And I woke up and I thought it related to a passing of a friend's son many years ago, but then I realized it was a national paper, so I started thinking, something's up here, and maybe there's going to be some big headlines. Well, very close to that date, as we know, coronavirus was very prominent. And And I hadn't had any of those dreams in a long time. I used to have them about worldly events. So I guess that was a warning. I've been trying to do a lot of things to get my health back in order. I've had a chronic illness and have set up an appointment with a new specialist. So it was to be this week, but I think I'm going to cancel to avoid being out in the public like that. And I have my partner. He's older and he's pretty much ADD anyway, and very hyper. And this has just got him really going in all directions. And it's taken quite a while for me to convince him how often he has to wash his hands and how quickly he needs to come home instead of talking with people and so forth. Today I put a mask on him, but then he takes it off and he touches it, and I said, well, you're recontaminating it. And I'm just going crazy with his antics. So, and being
Is there a
homebound.
question, Mary?
Yes.
Do you have a question? Okay, what's your question?
I do. I just wanted to see if you see me getting some resolution with this health issue once I can get some additional help.
Okay. As I tap in, this is Jennifer. As I tap
Yes.
into you, were you a smoker or was someone smoking around you?
Well, I smoke, but it's not what's going on with me at all. But
because I'm being drawn. You asked. I'm being drawn to your lungs. So I'm being drawn to your lungs, and I'm being drawn to some respiratory issues. So all I'm being drawn to, I'm not being drawn to maybe whatever it is that you've got at the top of your mind, but I'm being told that to work through, cleanse the lungs. They're showing me like a vaporizer or something in your room. They're also showing me ginger for you to be grinding up ginger and having a hot ginger drink, because they are showing that there has been damage done to your lungs and there's something going on with your breathing right now. So you may have another problem as well, but
if I can interject,
that's what I'm seeing right now.
Someone close to me that's dealing with this problem, but they're denying it has anything to do with their lungs. They smoked in the past, and they have a lot of upper respiratory for months, long before the virus, and they're having trouble with congestion and breathing, and they're denying it's lungs, but I'm insisting on a chest x-ray for them. I'm wondering if you're picking up. Yes.
Ma'am, do you smoke cigarettes? Okay.
Yes.
That may not be directly associated with exactly what you're going to the doctors with your lungs, but I'm going to tell you right now, you don't even have to be a psychic. That is creating problems. So if you're not willing to look at that, then they're saying you might not be able to kick this as quickly as you want to. So thank you for calling. We appreciate you. We only get 5 minutes per caller. We're here every Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and we appreciate you for calling. We're going to send you all kinds of heart chakra energy to put around your heart chakra, which is also your lungs. And again, just reconsider that smoking. It's not going to help your lung issue. And like Jennifer said, there has been some damage. You can heal from here. So we appreciate you, and we'll send you all kinds of energy around kicking that habit, okay?
Thank
Mary.
you.
Thank you.
Kicking that habit.
Wow, there's a lot of noise going on.
I know, that was me. I was being inconsiderate and rude. But note to self, grind up ginger and have a hot ginger drink. Good idea? Is that good for everybody?
I believe that it is.
Sure.
Some people don't like the taste, but if you're feeling, especially if you're feeling nauseous, it's very good for that. If you've got a cold going on, you can actually feel it burning, and I think it's killing crap in the inside of your mouth too. So
you just go and buy
good for digestion. You can take actually ginger tea. It's excellent for digestion and nausea and stuff like that. I also think that it's got some anti-inflammatory properties, kind of like turmeric does. So I think the list is long for what ginger does. It's a pretty health-oriented herb or spice. What is it called? It's a root. It's a root.
Yeah, it is a root. I think it's a spice.
I think it's considered a spice too.
Yeah.
it's good stuff. It does have a little peppery taste, so sometimes you can get ginger tea already mixed with like some other flavors to kind of cut that peppery. I like that peppery flavor, but it is a bit strong, and it reminds me of pepper. So you can also get it cut with like a lemon and things like that. Maybe they put some other stuff into a mix where you're not just straight drinking ginger. You can get the tea, or like Jennifer said, you can grind up the root and just put that in some hot water, and you got some real potent medicine there.
Well, that's something I'm going to do. I like doing easy things, like not looking at the fact that I smoke and stuff, hard stuff like that. I don't want to look at that. I just want to look at the nice things. No, you know what? I bought some patches so I could quit smoking. And I said, this morning, I'm going to put this patch on. And I haven't put it on because, it's easy to not break a habit. But you started talking, and I was like, that's what that noise was. I was getting my patch out. And I'm like, I'm putting it on right now. I'm very motivated. And you just kind of jarred something in me. now
Music to my ears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say, though, about smoking? Like, not stopping smoking is a no-brainer for most people. But if you get to a certain age and you've been a hardcore smoker for, say, the last 40 or 50 years, the worst thing that you can do is quit. It is too much of a shock to your system, and your heart can't take it. And that's it. You end up with a heart attack, and, you're lucky if you live. And then, or else it's a series of strokes. So
Same
you
with
got to quit
alcohol.
early.
If you've been a heavy drinker, well, it's detox. Like I don't even know if you have to be a heavy drinker for a long time, but if you're a heavy drinker at any point, and depending on who you are and how your body responds to it, if you're going to come off it, and I'm talking heavy drinker, like waking up to a vodka and coffee, having vodka at lunch and then dinner too, like that kind of heavy drinker. Not I got wasted this Saturday, although there's binge drinking and that's a whole other thing. But point being is, if you want to come off a heavy addiction space of alcohol, sometimes you have to go to like a Betty Ford or something, and they help you down off of that. I don't know what they give you, but same with other drugs too, of course, like narcotics and things like that. So you're shocking the system. You need to come off of it light and easy, and the older you are and the longer you've had the problem, I'm sure the more detrimental it is to come off of it and not have a negative response. Yeah, Drew?
Yeah, I'm glad you cleared it up because I was like, wait a minute, hold up. If I stop now, I'm going to die?
Well,
so
not necessarily.
You can, because my doctor prescribed me these patches that kind of step down the levels. Yeah. So I thought you were giving me the green light to just keep smoking. Forget it. Like, I'll smoke to that. Oh, thank God. And you just kind of brought me back to earth. So now, where's that patch that I just flung across the room? I don't even know. So, so quit smoking, or else it's your life. Well,
it's your prerogative. Everyone should make choices, but if someone's dealing with some medical issues in their lungs and they're smoking cigarettes, it's like, almost 100% possible that they're associated or have antagonized each other in some way. It's like if you have really bad arthritis in your knees and you eat a lot of meat and cheese and you're 40 pounds overweight, well, you're going to have some inflammation in your body because you're a human at some points. But if specifically on the knees, if it's sitting in the knees, oftentimes changing the diet and losing a bit of weight really does take down that inflammation, which is kicking in that arthritis. And again, if you're 90, it's probably just old age. But if you're like 50 and your knees are shot or you're feeling arthritis in certain parts of your body, go ahead and take a look at your diet and get that inflammation down. Things that are heavy in inflammation are meats and cheeses, and coffee and alcohol and any acidic anything. So watching that really does help. I know that it's true because I experience it in my body. I've been a deep tissue massage therapist for 18 years, and I've done over 20,000 massages, so I've done a lot in those years. So I don't have any body problems per se, besides occasional shoulder gets tight or something, but every once in a while, like if I have desserts for 2 days in a row, and we're talking like a piece of cake, like really cracky kind of sugar, like the white refined sugar, the next day my ring finger on my left side will kind of not hurt, but a little achy in the knuckle. And every time I eat white sugar, it does that. So I know it like directly affects inflammation in my body, just one dessert. So imagine if someone has a diet high of alcohol and cheeses and fats and stuff, they're going to be achy. So diet's a big deal too.
Well, I want to say that if you're listening and you're an American, not that I speak for all Americans, but we've been conditioned, some of us, to just treat our bodies like dumpsters. And no, we didn't know. Like, we didn't know white sugar was bad for you. We just knew it tasted good. And cheese and meat. You just killed my whole pizza regimen. And
you can have pizza.
With no cheese and meat. It's called bread. So I can just drink a bottle of ketchup. You know what I mean?
It's all about moderation, and certain kinds of meats are going to be much more inflammation-oriented than others. Certainly, like a red meat is going to have more inflammation than organic chicken breast. And again, depends on the person. It doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means you balance it with raw fruits and vegetables or salad or the best advice I heard was if you're going to have a burger, just order a salad with it too. You're getting your fiber. It's going to move through your body a lot more easily. So it's not about not having it. It's about watching it and then also implementing healthier foods. They're going to help neutralize that pizza you have once or twice a week because it's your favorite thing. You know, it's just all about balance.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, don't feel bad when the new information comes. It's like, oh, my God. Like, I translate all that into, like, as you were talking, I was like, oh, my God, this is a checklist of everything that I do and shouldn't do, which kind of makes me feel bad. Like, you know, am I failing? But no, the thing is that I look at the things I don't do, and then let me add one more thing to that list. You know, let me move in whatever big steps or small that I can move in that direction, as long, you know, to keep moving forward. And, you know, because sometimes if I put a ton on my plate, like, oh, I'm going to start lifting 100 pounds a day today, you know, it's like, well, I might want to start at 25 and work my way up. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like baby steps sometimes that's because I need to do things that are going to give me like some kind of encouraging victory as I go, because it kind of sucks to fail. I don't know. Who am I? But I've done a lot of healthy stuff, you know. I've made a lot of progress this year. I'm only eating half a gallon of ice cream now.
Yeah. That's movement. It's movement in the right direction. Absolutely. You know, I have clients who are like, no, I don't drink water. And I'm like, really? You don't drink water? And this is when I lived in Michigan more, not necessarily out west. But
pop has water in it.
Exactly. That's the things that they would say. They're like, well, coffee's made with water. And I'm like, okay. Your body is 70% or 68 or whatever it is % water. You need to put a lot of water in it because that's what you are. And sure, you're getting some with your sweet tea and your coffee and what have you, but not nearly enough. And it's important to have it, especially in the morning. It gets all the organs moving and flushed and what have you. That's the best time to get yourself a nice tall glass of water. And, of course, throughout the day. And I also read, which I have to take heed to this because I like to chug water. Like I'll wait till I'm like really thirsty and I'll just like chug a whole glass. I heard that it's more beneficial to drink casually and in small, like smaller sips. And of course you can drink often or what have you, but they were saying that it absorbs into your body. It makes sense to me. It absorbs into your body more efficiently if you just take drinks or smaller sips as opposed to chugging. And I'm like, ooh, okay, I got to change that around a little bit and try to drink it more slowly and more often throughout the day. It makes sense that, you know, if you just chug a glass of water, you're probably just going to run to the bathroom 20 minutes later and pee, maybe even twice in a row. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we bought the water cooler things, and so it makes drinking water a lot better, tastes better, and it's easier. So, yep. In coffee, we cut down on coffee a whole big ton. So I'm just proud of myself with the little steps I'm taking. And with this patch, I'm feeling superhuman now. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys talk about this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to hear, but just need to hear it, so I can be reminded of some good ways to go. So, happy lazy Sunday afternoon to Crystal Bowles Gretna in the chat room. Nice picture. And we can go ahead and take another caller if you ladies are ready.
We are.
Okay, 509 area code. How's it going? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Erica, and I'm calling from Washington State.
Hi,
How
Erica.
you doing?
Hi.
What's your question?
My question, yes. I just would like to know if you guys can just guide me a little bit. I'm wondering what my life purpose is. I'm trying to find out what career to go into, and I decided to take classes spring quarter. I start tomorrow at the university. I already have a bachelor's, and I was thinking about getting a master's degree, but a lot of the programs require a higher GPA than what I have, and so I decided why not just, take spring classes and see how that goes while I try to figure out what I'm doing.
You want to go
ahead,
ahead,
Jennifer?
Okay. What I'm picking up on initially with you, Eric, and I'm going to let Jenny finish it because it was only brief that I saw it. Something to do with children. Were you thinking of a teaching career, or was there something around kids, or do you do some volunteer work with kids?
No, I actually wanted to get a master's in teaching, and they just advised me that I should get more experience working with kids. And yesterday I got an email from the state. I requested my emergency substitute teacher certificate, and it was approved. So I guess, I don't know, it would be smart to work with kids and figure out if that's what I want to do versus getting a master's and thinking, oh, crap, I don't want to work with kids.
Well, you're going
going
right where I was going to take you. You're hitting the nail on the head here. And what my spirit guides were saying was, wow, that's a really expensive way to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, meaning going to school and kind of just, and again, if you can afford it, or if you get some grants and loans that it makes it reasonable, go ahead. But they're saying they were showing you being an old soul, so healer, teacher, seeker. I was going to ask you how you felt about psychology and or teaching. So those are two things that popped up right away. They are showing you being a light worker. So this can look like a lot of things. You could be a cosmetologist, you could be a massage therapist, you could be a doctor, you could be a dentist, you could be an artist. There's just musician, the lists go on and on. So they're saying a lot is available to you. We can help you look at it and glance at it, but your spirit guides are saying it's part of your soul mission to allow yourself to feel what it is that gives you passion, because they're saying brilliant for you to not want to go get a master's and then get into teaching and then be like, not for me. Believe me, I have about 20 friends who have done that. And so what they're saying is, yeah, do the substitute teaching, get a handle on it, see if you can handle these kids, see if it's something that you can manage, and be honest with yourself. Because if it's not something that you love, they're saying don't do it. You're getting to the point in your life where you're probably moving into a second career kind of energy, maybe not a second career, maybe it's your first career, but they're just saying the one that's going to last you a while. Go ahead and allow your passion to come forward, because that passion is what's going to fuel your interest and curiosity in any career. Teaching would be good. They're saying you would be good at it. You get to be the determiner if it's something you want to do for 20 years. They're showing, again, healing. So I don't know how you feel about being a healer. You're probably just naturally a healer. Probably people feel a certain way around you and feel good and what have you. But this can look like something like even life coach, which requires zero schooling. I think you get a certificate online for almost free these days. I'm kidding. I don't know what's involved, but it's pretty easy. So they're saying if you want to go to school, go to school. But if you're not real sure, they're saying try to taste a few things that are free, so to speak, like you are with the substitute teacher. They're saying taste a few things, because what your job is to feel how your body responds and how your mind and soul respond when you're in these scenarios. So again, the student teaching will give you a feeling of how teaching would be. Maybe being a life coach would give you a feeling of how being a psychologist would feel. Maybe you want to say, hey, I'm not ready for school right now. I'm going to kind of just play around with these things. If you want to go to school, go ahead. But they're saying, again, very expensive to kind of tool around in college while trying to figure it out. They're saying it just adds up and starts to cost a lot of money, of course. And then, of course, once you figure out what you want to do, there may be a whole other slew of things you have to go at. So they're suggesting just getting little pieces and bites so you can see if you like the flavor. Again, I can see healer, teacher, seeker, but those are so big. Those are huge, giant genres, and you're going to be the one who gets into it and tastes it and say, I want more of that, because I can tell you that you'd be a good teacher and you go to do it, and if you don't like the flavor of it, you're going to be like, why did I listen to that woman? That's not me. They're saying go ahead and let yourself respond and listen. They're saying the world has everyone all caught up in what they have to do, what they should do, got to make a living, get the insurance, They're saying, go ahead and come back from that a little bit. So bring your energy out of that expectation, anxiety space. Go into some free ways to taste the careers you're interested in getting into, and then feel how you feel about that, because they're saying that is what they'd like you to pause and feel. Again, we can give you ideas, but they want you to feel that. They're saying once you get in touch with that inner voice, that inner feeling, they're saying a lot more things will start to make sense. A lot more things will cool down, meaning stress and anxiety will come down a bit. So they're just saying kind of go into meditation and just get tastes and bites of things, and we wish you luck. They're saying you're an exceptionally old soul, and no matter what your highest desire is, you're going to do good by the planet, and that's what we're looking for. There's no wrong or right answers of what you choose to be in what career. They're saying just find one that suits you, and you're going to display your energy in that space, and you're going to do a tremendous job of helping us alchemize ego energy into heart. We appreciate you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah,
we
thank
appreciate you. I'm so I think my higher self kind of just pushes me in directions I don't know, because I went to grad school, or I'm currently in grad school, and I was just going so that I could have a master's degree, so I could teach at the very least I could teach some college courses. Not that I cared to do that, but at the very least. And the major that I took, I was like, oh, this will be easy. And it turns out that this is a passion. It's I really love this. And how did I get so lucky? So it's just weird the way it worked out for me. Grad school, because with the bachelor's, you can teach at substitute at high school. With the master's, you can do so much more. Right.
I figured that's why my teacher friends went and got their masters. A lot of them did. I figured there was some extra big benefits of doing that. Maybe it was more pay per year, as well as some more availability to them as far as jobs.
Yeah. And I just think if I'm going to teach, I want to teach older people, because some people are good with kids, but I'm not one of them.
Like a community college or something like that? Would that suit you?
At the university.
At the university?
If you have a master's, you could teach at you can teach at certain universities. So I have a question from the chat room, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to try to simulate her tone of voice. If you have time, I feel like I'm becoming a clean slate and something else is coming down my path. Can anyone pick up what directions this will go? I'm an accountant by day and crystal ball player by night. The last 5 years, I felt strongly my direction, but now it seems to have just completely stopped, which I know is part of the energies that are here.
Yeah.
Does this person have a name?
Crystal Bowles Gretna.
Oh.
And her name is actually Sue.
Oh. Well, where does Gretna come from?
I don't know. I can take a wild guess.
Respond.
I can take a wild guess.
Do you want me to start us off, or do you want to start us, Jennifer?
You go ahead, Jenny.
Well, I'm not sure what she's speaking of when she's saying she thought it was going one way and it stopped. I'm not really necessarily getting a lot of details on that. But oftentimes, if it feels like it stopped, it hasn't stopped. It's just paused, like we are right now as a planet almost. There's a pause. Things will keep moving forward. I see her being a professional healer. Now, with that being said, because I've worked my way through the ranks, I know that that's easier said than done. So if she's an accountant by day and she makes X amount of money, she's going to need to supplement it mostly. If she wants to flip over into being a healer, she'll have to supplement her income, and she'll have to make a majority of what she's making as an accountant as a healer. Now, I don't know how much accountants make, but I know healers. And we don't make like what white collar people make often. And if you do, you work at it for sometimes decades. So not to discourage her, but what I would suggest is keeping the paycheck coming in as a accountant and leaning heavy. And this means even when it feels like it's rolling slowly, or if it's stopped, or if it's not as busy, keep leaning into that, because you're manifesting in a three-dimensional world, and that takes drive and movement and desire. So they're saying we do see you moving more into the healer space, if you will. It's just going to take some time, not only because of what's happening on the planet, but just because again, the building a business to get the business to a number that you can sustain yourself on. So they're saying if you really dislike being an accountant and you really want to get out of it, they're saying get get a different part-time job and put a lot of effort into moving the crystal bowl business. They're saying playing for people is one thing, but showing people how to play is another. And then also recording sounds on audio they're showing. You can maybe send it over to YouTube. They're just showing a lot of networking kind of things, because they're saying that you have a lot of skill, and they're also showing that you've incarnated in Lemuria several times. So you really do have a special bond with the crystal, and that you're exceptional at connecting with it and playing it. So again, consider showing other people how to do it, maybe even offering, someone crystal bowls, like maybe getting them from a distributor. It might be a little difficult now with the mailing situation, but in the future, maybe distribute them, or they're kind of showing events, like expos and stuff, kind of getting the word out there, what they are, what they do. Again, they're showing their sound recording, so consider recording yourself playing. But even just put it as simple on your Facebook page. That's going to tell the universe that you want to be heard, and they'll do everything. It usually helps you. It doesn't have any resentment. It doesn't work against you, but it will work with the energy you're putting out. So if the energy is productive, it matches you most of the time, not every single time. But yeah, professional healer in lots of past lives, parallel lives. She's got the skill. It's a matter of, deciding if you can handle being an accountant for a little while longer while you build your business, and if not, finding a suitable part-time job to give you a little bit more time to really push that business if that's what you desire. And again, be cautious and careful with yourself at this time. The next couple of months are going to be funny economically, and maybe even for the next 9-10 months. So be patient, be kind with yourself, and just know this is a special year. So if you're trying to start a business and it doesn't fly, it's just a rough year. And Nancy Pelosi even said, these business people, these small business people are so optimistic. It's one of the more optimistic things you can do. And I laughed my ass off at my breakfast table, because I was like, she ain't kidding. You have to be very optimistic, especially with the environment how it is, and the economy how it is. So sending all kinds of light and love to that movement in her life to bring more passion and creativity and singing bowls to her existence. And I'm just kind of seeing the energy around her, and they're just showing that people like the sound. They're just showing people are digging her, maybe already listening to her. Maybe she's got a small following, but they're just showing that growing. So keep at it, keep moving, and we'll send you all kinds of energy. We appreciate
you. I was on mute. So, yay. She says, so this is perfect. I've been doing exactly this. So I think I am in a pause like everyone else.
Yeah. Man, the universe, the planet did a number on us, and I kind of like it, because I do think that I've often complained about on all of my podcasts how the average American adult doesn't get time to reflect. I mean, after dinner's done and homework's done, there's just a few moments where you're brain dead tired before you go to bed and do it all over again. So this is, there's a lot of people suffering and a lot of people going without, and I have empathy for that. But I do see that it's a time for people to pause and reflect, which I think is just beautiful, and it's very beneficial. And a lot of people are reflecting and not liking the way it's making them feel. And I posted a meme today that was like, the world is literally pushing pause so you can get your shit together. If this is terrifying you and making you completely crazy, ask yourself why. Have you, type A'd yourself out and spun yourself out into oblivion, and now you can't even be in a relaxed state? That's something to look at. That's something that you should look at so that your adrenals don't get cashed and your nervous system doesn't go down. Or I don't know if the nervous system goes down, but doing damage to the nervous system happens, especially when we're in a constant state of fight or flight or go, or type A. So, again, it's a wonderful yin time, and go ahead and utilize it, because we'll be back online shortly, working like normal. Everything will be, somewhat put back to where we were. At least we'll be going to work. I'm hoping everything looks a little different when we go back, but enjoy the time, because we'll be back to work before you know it.
Yeah, I'm so comforted when people say that, because my mind is like, I don't know when it's going to end. I have no idea. I'm just waiting and going through the motions. But my brother said, ask yourself, where do you want to be when this is over? So he's doing different things. He's started doing yoga And I find myself doing more healthy things. Like I would be open to listening and finding out what crystal bowls sound like. Even though I've heard of it a long time ago, it's like now I'm in a more receptive space for lots of things. I'm going to try the yoga today. So, yeah, this is an opportunity to grow forward. So when it ends, like Crystal Bowles Gretna says, she says, yes, I love this. Pause. I don't really want to go back to the old habits and old ways. Mm-hmm. So you're clearly resonating. We have a caller, another caller. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
773 area code, one of my favorites. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Elizabeth. I'm calling from Chicago. How are you?
Good. We're doing good. What's your question?
Thank you so much for hosting the show. Well, my question is about my current home life. Oh, sorry, I'm going outside. So I'm in a relationship with a man, and it's kind of gotten expedited. He was staying with me and my daughter for a little while, and just kind of wondering what the energy around that is.
Okay, I can
take us.
Yep, yep, sure. Elizabeth, are you a Gemini, or is this person a Gemini, or is there some Gemini around you?
My daughter has a Gemini moon, but I don't know his ascendant. I know he's a double Leo, and I'm an Aquarian.
Okay. So it's not him. So so now I'm looking at his time frame. I feel like you're at the cross in the road. So you can go left, you can go right. But whatever it is that you do, whatever is going on right now, it's not going to be able to go forward the same way. So either changes have to be made and you both go to the left together, or you don't make those changes and you go alone to the right. In any case, I feel like whatever changes need to be made, or if there's going to be a splitting of ways, it will happen towards the end of May, duration of June. So it's not something that's going to come up tomorrow, but it is going to be something that will come up within the next month.
And it's
I'd like
going
to add a little
come up.
something here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's reading, if I can answer for Jennifer, she's reading, she was getting some timelines, and she's saying there will be a shift or a move in May or April. Is that right, Jennifer? Is that what you're saying?
End of May, June.
End of May, June. That's what I meant to say. But this is the thing. This is what Spirit wants to tell you. We're looking at his energy, and his ego is flaring. I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting tons of details. I have to be on the line with you for more than 5 minutes to get a ton of details. But what they're saying is this isn't going to be a mystical thing. This is really going to come down to logistics and practicality. Can he change? Does he want to? Because they're saying how much you want him to change or be or shift has zero to do with what's actually going to happen. He's in control of his free will. So they're saying it's, like Jennifer was saying, you're at a crossroads. You have to take a look. Am I going to be cool with him staying like this for quite some time, or am I going to demand that he put forth effort so he can shift and change and we can become a more healthy couple? We're seeing that his ego isn't going to allow him to do that for whatever reasons. Again, this takes a lack of ego to get help, to look, to shift, to reflect. And it has zero to do with how much you love him. We see you being a heartful energy, an exceptional old soul. So you're going to, in return, need a partner that's going to offer up some stability, some emotional support, and some tools that are required to move in a relationship. Because it takes tools. Anyone who's been married can say that, yes, indeed, you need tools so that you can move past the things that come up. It's not if they'll come up, it's simply when. So what they're saying is it has less to do with you and more to do with his ego can sit down and do the movement, and we don't see it happening. We're going to put a lot of energy around him doing it and breaking through that ego. We're just being honest with what we see and how highly evolved you are and what you could be exposed to. So we appreciate you for calling, and I hope that you're able to really make decisions based on what you need, because in past lives you've made mostly decisions on what your partner needs or what your family needs or what your kids need, which is of course important, but they're saying this time go ahead and utilize the energy of your free will.
Oh, okay.
We appreciate you for calling.
Just being okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
it's so difficult to talk about that kind of stuff in 5 minutes. That is a very heavy, layered thing that she asked about. And again, we do what we can in the 5 minutes, but oftentimes we're just going to hit the tip of the iceberg. And of course, we're here every Sunday. So if you have more questions, call back a different Sunday. And if you want to schedule with us, you can go to our show page and you'll find Jennifer's information and my information. And I do specials for my Blog Talk listeners, $50 an hour, $25, get you a half an hour. We can really get in and hash out and maybe satisfy you more with that amount of time. But we appreciate everyone playing along with us and letting us to take a look at the energy off the top.
Yeah. There's something I wanted to say. Oh, I love Chicago.
I love Chicago too.
Me too.
Yeah. I meant to play our commercial, so let me go ahead and play that. We're at the 4 o'clock hour. We'll come back and we'll take a few more callers. So here's our commercial, and it just advertises the different shows that we have on the Heart Over Ego Radio Network.
You are listening to Heart Over Ego Radio. We are a network of shows with a lineup that's sure to raise your vibrations and guide you into your best life. Tune in on Sundays to Everyday Psychic Radio. On Mondays, it's the Alchemy Sisters. Tuesdays, it's Radical Spirituality. On Wednesdays, it's All for One is Love. And on Fridays, take a listen to Rain Radio. Amazing shows produced just for you 5 days a week, only on Blog Talk Radio. This is a Heart Over Ego Radio production.
So we're back. Let's go ahead and take the next caller. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is...
Give an area code. Who is this? Hi there. Hi, Jackie. What's your question?
I'm just concerned about moving forward with my family and looking forward to making some changes in my profession.
Okay. Is there a question in there?
What to do next? Trying to absorb all the
Jennifer,
try to handle it. I don't know what to do while we're behind closed doors. I mean, I'm looking at different things. I just haven't been able to focus.
Jackie, have you had a death recently in your family?
I lost my mother, but this was like 9 years ago. But her death.
No,
there was a lot of things that occurred afterwards.
Okay.
I lost a dog. No relatives that I'm aware of.
Is your mother's death still really focused in your mind right now?
A lot has happened.
So, yeah, because that's what's coming through is the energy of death. And what Spirit's what they're coming through and saying is that, what they're showing me weird stuff anyways. You know when you're driving down a country road and there's a culvert, is it a culvert or a ditch to the side? So they're saying to take all the good, pile it in, but everything else just throw it into the ditch, because there's so much stuff that you're walking around with and keeping inside and carrying that you don't need to be carrying. And it has a lot to do with your family contracts. But you know what? I'm going to let Jenny talk to you, and I'm going to do some clearing on your family contracts, because you carry around, it's like 100 extra pounds of weight, and it's just crap that you don't need to be carrying around. It's like you can't get up and feel light in the morning. It's just such a burden for you. So I'll let Jenny talk, and I'm going to do a little bit of a healing, if that's okay with you, Jackie.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Cool. Jackie, I'm a medium. I'm a channel. This is Jenny. I'm going to bring in your mom for a few minutes while Jennifer does some healing work on you. I only have a few moments here, so I'm going to be brief. And if you want more, you can connect with us after the show, of course. But what your mother is saying is, please I need you to know that where we go after we drop our body is a frequency beyond anything your mind can imagine now. It's a place of complete and utter bliss. So if it comes into your mind that you're concerned, or when it comes into your mind, the concern of not knowing, not understanding, hoping that she's in a good place, she's helping Jennifer alleviate that heaviness, because it's made a burden. It's the burden of the worry and the stress, and we are energetic beings. And if we want good things to happen, it's real important that we start having gratitude and breathing in the light and shifting and moving that energy. And she's saying, I'm trying to help these girls, help you move that energy, because the gravity of it is really, she's just showing stagnant, making the energy stagnant. What's next? We start to take off these layers of grief and stress that are weighing you down. Once they're off, you'll get freedom. That's what healing ultimately is freedom of heavy energies that oftentimes we don't even know they're there. So your mom is saying, I'm in a healthy place. I'm in the place where we come from. You're going to come back here. This is where we are before we incarnate, and this is where we come back to after we're done with our physical body. And she says we do it over and over again if we want to, and one life is just a drop in the bucket. She's saying that you guys have incarnated in other lives together, where you guys have been cousins and close friends. She goes, we can do that again. This time ran its course, but if we want to incarnate again, we can. And I want you to just know that I'm okay. I need you to know that. She's saying, if you remember, she goes, if you have dreams of me, I'm visiting you. If you have memories of me that pop in your mind, I'm visiting you. She goes, we are energy with God. And so when you think of me, it sends a frequency, and I am summit. So when you think of me, I'm there. She goes, that's why I know you're having a hard time with this, because I hear you calling my name often, and I can't do anything for you except hold space spiritually. You're the one that has to take off those layers of grief. And thanks for calling into the show, she's saying, because then you can get some helpers to help you and help you see it. But she's checking out. She's respecting the time, and she's saying, I'm around you. So she appreciates the opportunity to connect, and I appreciate the opportunity to relay. But just remember, she's in a fine place of high frequency, a place that's so high in vibratory energy that feelings of regret, stress, anger, grief can't exist. The space that we come from is so sterile with heartful energy. Heavier energy simply can't exist there. So when people say, is my mom disappointed with me? Mom can't feel disappointed. Mom's in 99.99999% heart energy and knows that we are all in a process and learning. So it's very human of us to have guilt and shame about what our dead family members think about us. But try to alchemize that shame and stress into love and curiosity and acceptance. So we appreciate you for calling, and we want you to have a lovely day. And we're here noon Pacific on Sundays, and that's 3 Eastern. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
Yep, cut her off a little early there. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, so that's a quick channel. Usually they're a little more detailed and elaborate when I do them in a full session, but that was the big gist that Mom wanted to get across. So
if Jackie's still listening to, Jackie, just if you're listening, just know that you need to establish boundaries as well. When people come and bitch about their day to you, that's the kind of energy. I just released all that energy. Don't let it come in again. You know, people do not need to unload on you. You're not everybody's sounding board. Just, but it's up to you, or else all that crap's going to come back. To stop it, say no, bring me something positive. Don't bring me every complaint that you have. All right.
Excellent boundaries to have. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. And it's one thing to be somebody's shoulder to lean on, but it's also one thing to have boundaries with that person who leans into you. There's a really cool meme on Facebook that said, it's important to have a dumping partner, but it's also important to ask them if they can manage your dumping, because some people might not be having a good day and your energy is just too heavy for them. And then other days they might be fine with it. So before you vent, it's good to have a venting partner, but before you vent, say, how you doing? Do you want to hear this right now? And they'll, have to be truthful with themselves of yes, today I can, or no, not today because I had a rough day and maybe tomorrow. So excellent. All right. Drew's on a quick break. He had a visitor. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with a call, and I'm going to take a call from the 201. 201, can you hear us? Hello? 201, can you hear us? We're going to give you 3, 2, 1. Can you hear us? Okay, that's not coming in very well. We'll have to mute that call. All right, let's pop down to the next one, and let's go to 408. 408, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you. I wasn't expecting to get on, but that's wonderful. Thank you. Yes, I can hear you.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Craig, and I'm calling from California.
Craig from California. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I really like the heart over ego thing. That was really kind of speaks to me a lot because I live my life upside down, so it really connects. But I feel like a real sucker for punishment. You know what I mean? And I think that I would learn my lesson, and I have learned my lesson. And my feelings are very, very powerful about a lot of things that people say. Sometimes people do things that causes that to happen for me. And so I've already looked at my feelings in light of the truth, which is underneath them, where I'm at. But it seems that it doesn't seem like I see much progress, you know. It seems like if there is progress, it's being withheld from me, that information. And I'm not saying
what
that
kind of question do you have, Craig?
Huh?
What's the question?
So,
is there a question?
Yeah, there's a question. I'm just kind of giving you some insight, but maybe I went too far. I'm sorry.
You don't need to.
We only have 5 minutes per caller, so just go ahead and give us the question.
Okay, so why am I such a sucker for punishment?
Well, they're saying, let's pan it out. They're saying you can be talking about certain personal things that you're experiencing, but they want me to have you pan it out. Like you said, seeing the situation above or below your emotions is helpful because then you're being objective. They're saying we're all gluttons for punishment who have incarnated on this planet right now. You can't, in your right mind as a soul, come here unless you're willing to put your feet to the fire and get burnt. If you wanted an easy existence, and some of my spiritual understandings is you pick the womb you come out of and you pick the time that you come through. So you came here to be front row and center when there's a lot of movement going on in the planet, and that's going to contribute, because you live on this planet, to your personal life too. There's probably a lot going on personally. So they're saying, why are you a glutton for punishment? Because you're an old soul and you don't like easy gigs. If you wanted an easy gig, you'd go to the Pleiades, where things are mostly heart energy. You came to this planet that's mostly ego energy to be a part of the shift and the awakening of it and the movement. And they're saying you can call yourself a glutton for punishment, but what we see is an old soul testing itself and wanting to move further in its spiritual understandings. So it's really not a punishment. It's not a negative thing necessarily. We pick a harder gig because we want to learn more. It's like, yeah, you mastered kindergarten and you could go at it again and be the smartest kid in the class, but that's boring. So they're saying you keep moving into these spaces, incarnations, if you will, that are going to test you a bit. And this is a good one to be tested at. And just to let you know, you picked an excellent timeline to be in, because we're in the middle of the biggest shift the planet's ever seen, next to when the dinosaurs became extinct. So as an old soul, you came here to be a part of the biggest shift. So it's not necessarily punishment. It's because you're a warrior and you knew you could handle the work, and so you came. But we appreciate you.
Jenny, I've got something else too.
Yes.
Fred, what I'm being told as well is here's a way to approach it. Because you're trying different ways to approach it, but there's certain areas. Look at the areas of your life where you have been very successful. And I'm seeing 2 or 3 areas that you have been successful because you focused on it and you had a plan and you committed the plan, and success was a result of it. They're saying use that same sort of planning methodology to the area of your life where you feel like you're a sucker. So don't treat it differently. Right. Treat it like the other successful areas of your life, because you do have many successful things going on.
Right. And I agree with that. It just falls in line with what I already know, and that's the fact that I need to take responsibility for my feelings, and in doing that, I'll also take responsibility for my actions. And there will be a benefit. There'll be a benefit, and the benefit will be the people who are reflecting what I'm projecting. That will be the benefit that I get. So, yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're welcome.
Look at him, exactly. And this is the type of color I love, one who knows the answers and just gets some confirmation from us so that they can move forward with their own knowing. We appreciate you for calling, Craig. Take it easy.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks.
This is a ding, ding, dinging. All right. All right. We appreciate everyone for listening. Again, this is the Everyday Psychic Radio Show. We're here every Sunday. That's noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and we're a 90-minute show, and we're here to take your calls. We love to do it, and we're happy to do it, and we have a few more minutes here. Should we take another caller, Jennifer?
Sure thing.
Let's go with the 856 area code. Can you hear us?
Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
So far, so good.
Okay, how are you?
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Rosemary from New Jersey.
What's your
Hi,
question?
Rosemary.
Whatever's coming up. I know we're here in a crisis and all that stuff. I need stuff moving faster, but it's not. So either work or long-term relationship, whatever comes to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Jennifer, do you want to take this one or shall I start us off?
No, you can go ahead, Jenny.
Okay. They're just having me do some energy work because they're showing that because of the situation of the planet right now, it's kind of on pause. We said it with one of the other callers. It's kind of on pause right now. There's some people working and some movement and what have you. But they're saying in this time, try not to worry about the things you normally worry about. Because the things you're worrying about, which is finance and relationships, which, by the way, are the biggest ones, really, for at least for psychic calls, they're saying you really can't do a ton right now with that. So they're saying put the worry aside and you can start building that muscle of compartmentalizing the things that aren't right in your life or the things that you want to be better. So they're showing me some tools, which are, again, perfect time to pause the energy right now and to go ahead and practice this because, again, not a lot of places are hiring unless you're a nurse or stock shelves or something like this or deliver pizzas. Again, nothing wrong with those jobs, but that's basically what's hiring right now. So they're saying use this time to go ahead and reflect and relax and start working on compartmentalizing that worry because they're saying the worry is just kind of clogging up a lot of your energies. Is everything okay over there? I hear a lot of background noise. I just want to make sure everything's okay. It sounded...
Yeah.
Okay. So what they're saying is go ahead and work on compartmentalizing that worry and stress, okay? Jennifer, are you getting anything?
Rosemary, is there someone around you or do you work in food services? Because the first thing that came to mind was food services.
Yeah, somebody is around me, but he's in a different country.
Oh, okay.
Where it all
because
started.
The person that works where it all started? Okay. The person with the food services, when I tap into that energy, I feel like there's a little bit of indecision on that person's part. So what I'm going to tell you is, and this is for anybody who's listening, when you go to sleep tonight, if there's something that you want from this person in the food services, get your higher self to talk to their higher self at night. And this way, rather than, face-to-face or talking over the phone or whatever it is, you'll be able to connect on a different level and you'll have your answers in the morning. So just, talk higher self to higher self at night, have a sleep, wake up, you'll have some sort of clarity. So the clarity will come in the morning.
Appreciate
does that help,
you for
Rosemary?
calling.
Yeah, it does because I tried doing that and manifesting all that. It's like he doesn't communicate like normally and I get negative messages like, you know what I mean, like on his part and my part.
Yeah,
and
don't use your words. Don't use your words. Use your energy.
Got you. Cool.
Appreciate you for calling.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent advice there. All right. So anything you want to discuss before we get another caller on?
I saw something interesting, and where I get all of my news from is now Facebook. They said things that we've learned from the coronavirus. And number 13 was the Vatican keeps the Vatican's money. But I haven't heard of the Vatican helping anyone out during the coronavirus. Have you?
Well, no, isn't this a funny thing that the reason they don't pay taxes as a church, even though they bring in profit, is because they're supposed to be the outreach. They're supposed to help the community, and that was part of the reason of why they don't pay taxes, is because they were supposed to pay their taxes in the way of community service. But no, I don't see the Vatican helping anyone. They have put all their money into getting their priests out of their jail sentence for molesting small boys and women and children. So, no, they don't have the money for that because it all goes toward their legal bills. So, but I do see a lot of defiance in the church, and I'm pretty amazed by it. It doesn't really amaze me because our president said that there was no problem, 2.5 weeks ago, telling everyone to go to work. No biggie, right? Well, a lot of people that follow him happen to be Christian and live in the south of America, and these are the people that are not sheltering in place. They are not doing their service by keeping everyone safe. They are going and having giant church services, defying the shelter in place and risking everyone, and these people are getting corona. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Not only do I think that they're not necessarily helping as much as they could or should or are supposed to, I guess, they're also making things worse by getting like hundreds of people together at a time and passing the coronavirus around. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus.
Crazy.
And he says, don't get me involved with them. They're not my people. He's laughing just because, there's a famous quote, and I think it was Gandhi that said, I like your Christ. I don't like your Christians. They're so unlike your Christ. And I was like, yeah, oh my gosh. That is about truth if I've ever heard it.
True, yeah,
so,
exactly.
We have one more caller. We'll get that caller on, and then we'll chit-chat for a minute, and then we'll end the show if you're okay with that.
No problem.
Okay. Let's look in. We got 917, area code 917. Are you there? No, I think that was the one we tried at the beginning, and they weren't there. So I think we're done with callers now. So anything in particular you want to discuss before we end the show, or are you happy to end there?
I'm happy to end there, and I hope you had a good birthday last week, Jenny.
I did. I hope you did, too. I had an excellent birthday. Even though it was shelter in place, I got to spend it with someone I love, and I got to eat some chocolate cake and eat some good food. So it was winning to me, and it was a lot less pressure. Normally, you got people being like, I want to take you out for happy hour. I want to take you out to dinner. Meet me here. I want to, hang out with you. And I love doing that, too. But it was nice this year to just kind of be quiet and not go anywhere and be at home and reflect. So I enjoyed it. How about you? Did you enjoy your birthday?
Oh, we had a social isolation cocktail hour, and they did one of those drive-bys where everybody drove by and waved and wished me happy birthday.
I love it. That's pretty cute. I love that. It's adorable. We do what we can when we can do it.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate everyone for showing up. This is the Everyday Psychic Radio Show. We are here every Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and we are on the network Heart Over Ego Radio. Check out our network on any major podcast app, and you will get a plethora of shows per week, all designed to help you on your spiritual advancement and movement. So we appreciate you, Jennifer. It was a pleasure. Drew, he's off doing something else, but he'll be back next week with us. And until then, everyone have a lovely day.
You are listening to Heart Over Ego Radio. We are a network of shows with a lineup that's sure to raise your vibrations and guide you into your best life. Tune in on Sundays to Everyday Psychic Radio. On Mondays, it's the Alchemy Sisters. Tuesdays, it's Radical Spirituality. On Wednesdays, it's All for One is Love. And on Fridays, take a listen to Rain Radio. Amazing shows produced just for you 5 days a week, only on Blog Talk Radio. This is a Heart Over Ego Radio production. Today's show is brought to you by Heart Over Ego Radio. I'm Drew Pillow on behalf of Jenny McDaniel. We thank you for listening to Everyday Psychic Radio. You can catch us every Sunday right here on Blog Talk Radio at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Check out the other shows on the Heart Over Ego Radio Network for your listening and healing and spiritual enlightenment. So, Drew Pillow, and we are out of here.